Hey all, so this is Mr. Kozak with a brief message before we get into peer editing for the first time. So I'll tell you guys a little story. A few years ago, we had a student who wrote a really interesting essay on coming out, and one of the topics that he discussed was how to fake your age on Grindr, which made for an interesting essay that was not appropriate for a high school class. And that student knew what he was doing. He was trying to cross some boundaries. He had heard that this is a class that crosses boundaries, and of course we do, but he took it a little too far. Because I have not read all of your essays, I don't know what you've put in them. And you don't know what anyone's put in them either. So this is a friendly little awareness about about content that you might put inside of essays, which includes all types of things, including language, situations, etc., etc. But the bottom line is, if you feel uncomfortable by some content that an essay that a peer has written, stop reading the essay. Okay, that's step number one. So if you are uncomfortable by the content or language that a peer is using, stop reading the essay. Then step two is immediately email me who it is and what the essay is. You don't have to tell me your objections. You don't have to tell me anything at all. Just who is the person, and if you have a copy of the essay, make sure I have a copy of it, just in case it's in somebody's folder or something. So that allows me to take any kind of action that I need to take, to talk about language, to talk about any kind of other thing that I need to talk about, and it relieves you of the burden of having to read something that might be inappropriate. This is a mainstay of the course, so even if I give you something and you feel like, oh, this is not appropriate, feel free to stop and to let me know. But it's a really good thing to remember, as I have not read these essays. Know that I will read the essays, like that's going to be something that happens. But because I have not read them yet, you will have read them first. That is something that has happened in the course and that we don't want to really happen again, or that I want to be able to manage as soon as we see an issue like that. So that's a big kind of content advisory rule. If you have questions about content or whatever, feel free to email me. If you have questions about usage of email, or I'm sorry, of language, feel free to email me. We can always set up a meet, or we can go back and forth on email about how we can approach some of those things, so that you're peachy keen. And that's it for me. I use the word peachy keen, so I am too tired to continue videoing. I hope we do have a good peer editing experience, and I will talk to you all soon.